Hello everyone, I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm going to be breaking down the fight between Kauě Fernandes versus Harry Hardwick. So this is a very interesting fight, and there's definitely some asterisks to this fight, or I guess some very important things to know. Kauě Fernandes was originally supposed to take on Varazzi Ham in an amazing fight at lightweight. I was honestly kind of disappointed that they were fighting this soon, because I figured those two would fight like when they're ranked contenders, because I think they're that good. But it was really going to be a really high technical fight, really good fight at lightweight against two guys. Like I said, I see potential to be ranked, but we would have to wait and see. Unfortunately, the week of the fight, so about Sunday, Varazzi Ham's grandmother passed away. I'm sorry to hear about the loss, and I would not wish him nothing but wellness, and I hope the funeral is good, and I guess in general, just good luck to him as a person. But unfortunately, so he had to pull out, understandable. So, stepping in on short notice, we have Harry Houdini Hardwick. Now, for those of you who don't know, he is the current Cage Warriors featherweight champion, and this is going to be at lightweight, so he's moving up a weight class on short notice. He is currently 13-3-1. Overall, he's on a 9-fight unbeaten streak. 8 wins, 1 draw. And he's really good. He's really good. I'm doing some tape study on him. Him and his brother, George Hardwick, who was the former lightweight champion in Cage Warriors, they fight almost the same. There's some differences in how they approach the overall MMA game, but you watch the tape on them, they have a lot of similarities. Number one being, they're both very good boxers. They have an interesting way of punching, though. And it's like more of a proper technique. They use the knuckles prominently in their boxing combinations. Like they go body, head, and sometimes they have combinations that end with a kick, but they're primarily boxers. Why I think that's kind of interesting is, like, you see a lot of other MMA boxers, like when they throw a hook, they don't fully turn to get that proper knuckle pull to get the edge. It's kind of open-handed. Like their wrists aren't fully, not even straight, or like not any force, because some of their punches are either looping or slapping. There's not much oomph to them, or like that proper rotations where you get the full extension, full knuckle, that kind of stuff. Henry Hardwick does not have that problem. He has tremendous boxing. His grappling overall is very good. Watch his fight with Kennedy Lopez. That was one of his 2 title defenses when he was a champion. He's got slick grappling. His wrestling is not the best. He's primarily a cage wrestler, but he has some takedowns on the open mat. But once he gets to the ground, he's got tremendous grappling. Good back takes. Good back takes. Good overall control. He can flow with position nicely. He's very well rounded, but primarily a striker. Kauě Fernandes, meanwhile, is 3-1 in the UFC. He's 4-1 overall. He lost his debut to Mark Jacasey 2 years ago in November. But since then, he had beaten Mohamed Yahya, and most recently, last March, beat Guram Kutateladze in a fight that's very impressive, because he was a huge favorite. I think he was like a 4-1 favorite. And he just dominated Guram, destroyed him, made him look like he did not belong in the UFC. It was a very impressive performance. Now, doing the tape study, there's one aspect of Hardwick's game that really I worry about. Not just short notice, like that happens, and it's a week notice too. That's definitely something to keep in mind. It's not even that he's moving up a weight class per se. It's leg kicks. He does not check leg kicks. Neither does his brother. They do not have good leg kicking defense, especially those calf kicks. Now, granted, they can usually just power through and go on to get the wins, but Kauě Fernandes is a ferocious calf kicker. Watch his fight, but watch both his wins in UFC. Mohamed Yahya and Guram Kutateladze. He will destroy your calves. I mean, both. I know I keep putting it off, but like, look at Guram's leg at the end of the fight. It looked like ground beef. Mohamed could not stand on his leg, and eventually led to him getting TKO'd. The reason Mark Jacasey really didn't suffer the same fate is he out-wrestled him for a majority of the fight. Now, that's something I definitely want to keep in mind, because could Hardwick out-wrestle him? Maybe. But if Guram can't out-wrestle him, and Guram's pretty good, well-rounded, then I definitely don't think Hardwick's going to have a field day. It's definitely going to be tough. And like I said, his entries are not the best. But once he gets you down to the ground, he's pretty good. And as for the betting lines, if it was a little tricky to find them, like since this fight was really put together, relatively short notice, it's hard to find betting lines, but I was able to find it. And the odds are pretty close. Fernandes is a minus 163, while Hardwick is a plus 125. So you can definitely see there's a lot of respect to the body of work Hardwick has done, and I'm pretty sure he would have gotten signed into UFC anyway. I think he's that talented. But, boy, I think not even, so excluding moving up the weight class, short notice, because, you know, those are always going to be factors in my mind when making a prediction. But sometimes short notice isn't bad, and especially if you're a guy on short notice who has a completely different set of skills that could work much better than their previous opponent, then there's something interesting to say. Now, that being said, like, with Fernandes fighting Ziam, he would have fought a tall, lanky kickboxer who's proven to be very well-rounded, proven to be very tough to get rid of, and I definitely would think just would be a better overall striker. Hardwick, on the other hand, matches Fernandes in a lot of his specs, like height, they're not too far apart, 5'9", 5'10". I don't have his reach for some reason, not on Tapology, but Fernandes is 73 reach. I can't imagine Hardwick is that much different, especially because he's the guy moving up. And while there is a possibility of the shorter man skills, that's when a fighter of a lower weight class moves up. And generally speaking, they are the more technical fighter and the faster fighter. I don't really think that really comes into play because Fernandes isn't up. He's not so big of a lightweight. He's gonna have a speed disadvantage. I actually think they kind of match each other in speed. If not, Fernandes has quicker kicks. But overall, I just think their skill levels look like this. Like Hardwick, he's fought good competition. He's a champion Cage Warriors, and I think Cage Warriors is a good promotion, and they definitely turn out some very high-level talent, like Aspinall, Pimblade, you name it. But I just think Fernandes, with 3 UFC fights to his name, two of those said fights are tough opponents. Muhammad Yaya's not UFC level, but he sure is hell tough, I'll say that much. I just think the skill set and overall the UFC experience gives Fernandes the edge. Plus, short notice. I mean, that's a big thing. If it's like a 2 or 3 weeks notice, that's not so bad. But, I mean, a week, not even. Like, I think, what was this announced? Monday? Yeah. And like I said, leg kicks are my biggest concern for Hardwick. So overall, I'm picking Fernandes to win a competitive decision. I'm not counting Hardwick out completely. I think he's very good. I think he can get some wins in the featherweight division. And who knows, he might be better at lightweight. He might have some more power to his game, better cardio, stronger, who knows. But yeah, I think Fernandes is going to chew those legs up and just kind of go for decision. If there were a finish, maybe a finish via leg kicks. I don't think Hardwick's going to finish Fernandes. Fernandes is very difficult to get out of there. And so, but Hardwick himself is a very tough fighter. So I don't really see him getting finished. So yeah, I'm picking Fernandes via decision 29-28. But that's been for my prediction of this fight. Next up, it is Marcin Tybura versus Ante Delaez. I believe is how you pronounce it. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. Thank you all for listening. I'll see you next time.